can't be schemed. Roll your when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. Now get it. Big Snoop Dogg. It's in the game.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You run to Christ when I pray on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Till the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch the slant.
On second down, McCaffrey. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Give him 9 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Carolina. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
61, match box, right.
Throwing is Rodgers. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Julian Love picks it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Back to throw here. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he Gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
Ready? 54. Up. 54. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Right there.
They'll set up a throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Za'Darius Smith leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And that'll make the score 14-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
All right. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Check 52. Hey, alert 3. Shit.
On second down, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal.
Check. Fresno. Sit. Hey, watch it. Back north. 45. Mike, 45.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas, they'd love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On first down, this is McCaffrey. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Going Gano the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 20.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Johnson, the intended target. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Jair Alexander up to make the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here's McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Nice job defensively to hold them to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, as the first half is winding down. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's going to wind up in it. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Julian Love picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Gano for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He's going to look deep down the field. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing now is Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 30. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Watch time, watch time. Tight end right, tight end right.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Steven Sims Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to get a score back. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
132 fighter. He's coming. We got double up.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Solomon Thomas, and the Panthers will get the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone, we're thinking we're giving up.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Carolina! Christian McCaffrey, 78 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
They do go for it. It's Rodgers. Looking deep downfield. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Complete. It's Johnson. That's good for 28 yards. Rodgers now on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Ian Thomas. But now it's 3rd down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Alan Lazard, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And his guys are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. The extra point up and good. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Lucky.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's Rodgers to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is...
He's got a man. Complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 52 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
This is McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. 2nd and 9 now. He completes this to Sutton.
The pass on 2nd down. Complete to Cortland Sutton. It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers throwing again. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Hey, 26. Single.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And now here is another interception. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of...
McCaffrey trying to escape, but he cannot. They get him in the end zone, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. but I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. On first down, Hubbard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Rodgers going to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Rodgers. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Gets it to Smith-Schuster on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten it.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. I got you.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 20-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Panthers, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for them that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, I never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist.
I was legit ever since I blew they all on my hey back then didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long that I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Ex-slick then hit with the back then used to